Welcome to night one of Movie Cheer Fest. I am your host, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and I am here at the Movie Cheer Town live stage. And I'm here joined by four top guys tonight, ladies and gents. Four top guys, four special guest co-hosts. First of all, I have got Paul, the 4K chef. How are you doing, Paul?
Very well, thank you very much for inviting me on. Really appreciate it. I'm fine.
It's great to have you here, buddy. It's great to have you here. Also got Phil here. How are you doing, Phil?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Superb, superb. We have got Joe, aka GeekyHiJynx. Joe, how are you doing?
Hey, everyone. I'm doing much better now. I can move and be in sync with you guys.
It looks much better. Just before, behind the curtain, Joe was a bit out of sync. We were just pausing on Joe's video a minute ago, but you look crystal clear now, buddy. It looks awesome. Fingers crossed. We'll keep the fingers crossed.
I was like this, though.
I think you cursed yourself. And also, we've got the Lord of the Streams, PlaytendoGuy, aka Pete. How are you doing, Pete?
Not too bad. Thanks for inviting me on. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh, mate, it's honestly it's great to have you all on. I'm looking forward to this as well. Movie Cheer Fest night one. As I said, tonight will be a bit of a live stream. We're going to do a few different topics. I will just say in advance, if anyone has any movie related topics they'd like to get in, we throw them in the comments and we will try and get to them at some point during the show. A few different things are going on. Got a few pre-planned questions and topics and a few from the Movie Cheer Town community. And also, we've got a few other little surprises for the rest of the show as well. It's going to be a 2-hour show, ladies and gents. It's going to be fun movie topics, movie discussions. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be a great night overall. So I thought, first of all, let's introduce your channels, where people can find you, first of all. So I'll start off with yourself, Paul, 4K Chef. Where can people find you and tell me a bit about your channel as well?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, which is my name on the screen there, the _ 4K Chef, Twitter and Instagram, and also Facebook. And yeah, my channel is just, I mainly collect 4K movies, physical and digital as well. I do collect some Blu-rays. I think I own about 5. But yeah, just pickups, reviews, talk about just physical media in general and what. Like, I'm going to start talking about vinyl as well a bit more because I collect rock vinyl. So,
Cool.
So I'm going to do a video on that soon. So, sort of like what John did with his discs and stuff. But yeah, just general like physical media chat. I'm
Fantastic.
I don't snub any physical media. Like, I welcome DVDs, Blu-rays, talk a lot. You know, it's just. Yeah, it's just great. Like, been doing it 4 months now, and it's really. I'm glad to be part of the community.
It's awesome. I think that's the big thing here. I think we all can say that we're doing YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. It's just the movie community, and it's like we were saying before, and like you're saying, like you get like recommended videos on YouTube, and it's like then you see more people, and it's like the community just grows each time, and it feels like everyone kind of knows each other, don't they, through a certain person. It's really cool.
Nervous at start. I'm a bit nervous now because I've not done many live streams, but you just all start feeling, you know, like you're all mates and all that, and it's just
definitely.
Yeah,
Well, to put you at ease, Paul, I am sweating like crazy. I'm super nervous myself. Give us 10 minutes. We'll all be fine. We'll all be sorted. But don't worry, buddy. It's going to be a fun night. But yeah, you've got a great channel, Paul. It's a great Instagram as well, buddy. So it's great to have you on, mate.
Thank you very much.
Phil, let's go to yourself. Phil, introduce yourself to the Movie Cheer Town community, buddy.
Right. So I have a channel on YouTube, which is Philip Coghill, which is my name. It's Philip with 1 L and COGHILL. And I very simply, I talk about generally my physical media collection in the videos. I do sometimes do silly videos on it. If you look at my backlog.
It is okay, buddy. What are some of the silly videos, Phil?
I did one. I did a little because I just was practicing keying, like green screen keying on my editing software. So I did a little silly video where I took the clip of Tobey Maguire dancing from Spider-Man 3 and like green screened in the opening from the Temple of Doom. You know, anything go that bit.
That's awesome, buddy. Hey, mate, you've got an awesome channel as well. Like, so what type of videos are you putting out on a regular basis?
Generally, when I buy discs, when I've got a few, I'll do a video talking about them. You know, why I bought them, sort of what I think of the movie or the show. You know, comments on the picture quality, that sort of thing.
Superb. Well, another top channel, Phil Coghill on YouTube, Instagram as well, buddy. Everyone check it out. I'm going to move now to Joe, aka GeekyHiJynx. Joe, introduce yourself to us all, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm Joe from GeekyHiJynx. It's just come back from a bit long break since March. Needed a bit of online time, but primarily I touch on everything movies, but I kind of myself verging more towards horrors, as I find them the most entertaining, and there's many of them, so you can literally it's not like a thriller, but it's like a few dense ones broken down. Horrors can break up into many things. So I literally review Shudder films. I've just started a video horror game chat segment where I'm playing some of the newer horror games coming out. So I'm playing Resident Evil 8 at the moment. And then Callisto Protocol's coming out soon, a remake of Alone in the Dark, Dead Space, Resident Evil 4. So I'm going to be playing all of those. And literally I might dip myself into some trailers if they interest me. But I tried to stay with what interests me the most as opposed to what I think would interest everyone else. So if you just want a bit of madness and a sock puppet, and a lot of madness, come down to my channel. It's spelled right. Oh wait, it's spelled right there. I hate this camera. It's mirrored. You know what I mean? You wave over here, but in your hands over here. It's really strange.
Yeah. Well, it's it's good to see you back on YouTube this week, Joe. It was I really enjoyed that video as well with the What are some of the characters? I know you've got some characters on the channel. Tell me about the characters.
So basically, when I first started, I was like, I'm going to be the most fascinating and professional YouTube reviewer this forum has ever seen. And then I did one review. I thought, hey, I can do it. I think it was a film called Psycho Gorman. I've seen that film.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
But literally, I thought to myself, I can do a really stupid review where I have because it's like 80s Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I made these characters up, and I wasn't even going to use it for one video. And then after that, my mum went to me because she watched my videos. Hi, Mum. But she goes to me, are they going to come back again? And I was like, no, she goes, you should bring them back. And I was like, okay. So I've got this alien called PG. I've got this mischievous frog called Glebe. I've got this, I've got a character called Mr. Snugglepuss who hates everything he loves everything I dislike. So I'm going to be reviewing the Doctor Who coming up soon. And he loves Doctor Who as it is, and I hate it, sort of thing. So, and it's all me. I think what worries me sometimes, I live in a shared place, and I've got to dress up as these people. And do you know how tense it is when it's daytime and there's people walking past their houses, and then I'm dressed up looking at them waving. No. So it's just madness.
It's brilliant. It reminds me of I don't know if you watch if you're into wrestling, it's Bray Wyatt. He has a gimmick, but it's where he has the Firefly Funhouse, but it's a bit like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
You're the Mr. Rogers of
I love that.
It's brilliant, mate. But like I said, it's great to have you back on YouTube, and I think you're a very got an awesome channel. Did you hear me, Joe?
I salute you, sir.
Now I'm going to go to our final special
I can
guest
hear
co-host.
everyone. I've just frozen like a...
Joe can hear us. Thumbs up means we're all good. He's not frozen.
I can hear you. You can carry on. Don't worry about me. I'll be the first one to die in this movie.
Joe is locked in a time loop 10 minutes ago. We might see him again. We don't
I am.
Like I said, going to the final special guest co-host of tonight's Movie Cheer Town live stage tonight. And we have got Pete, aka PlaytendoGuy. Pete, introduce your channel to everyone.
Thanks, for inviting me on, AP. I keep asking people this every week, and they can perfectly do it, but I'm terrified how to do it. I'm very unsure. But hi, everybody. I'm Pete, PlaytendoGuy. Channel is PlaytendoGuy, and I do movie pickups. I have done Blu-ray hunts. I do video game reviews, and every Wednesday night I do a live stream that goes on for like 4 hours, and it's fun. But yeah, I really enjoy doing YouTube. I'm hoping to do some more movie reviews and movie rankings and try to expand the channel a bit. But it's all great fun, and it's always great to meet new people.
Definitely, Pete. And I've been on your channel a few times, and you've just got I feel like you're the magnet for all this community. You bring a lot of people together, Pete, and I think a lot of people have probably already said this, but you're a genuinely very nice guy. And you're an excellent host, and your streams every Wednesday, they're superb, mate.
Oh, thanks for saying that. I honestly think I'm terrible as a host.
Oh no, honestly, you're great at it. Honestly, you should be on should have your own radio show or something, or a TV show or something like that, mate. I'm waiting for it. I want to see you hosting The Masked Singer or something like that soon. But it's great to have you all on tonight, and like I said, we're going to have a fun night. I see there's a few different people in the live chat, and I will say this: if you're listening to this live, like I said, leave some comments below. Where if you've got any topic suggestions, movie-related topics, throw them in. As I said, if you're catching this on the replay, don't worry, leave a comment below to some of the topics we're going to discuss tonight. Let us know your thoughts on the topics as well. I want to get everyone in the Movie Cheer Town community involved. So we're going to go to the first topic of today, and first topic I think is, let's go for it, favorite movie of 2022 so far. What have we got, gents? I'm going to start off with Pete. Pete, first movie, kind of said very similar to your show, asking people what they've been watching recently. What's your favorite movie this year, though, Pete, so far, 2022?
Right, for me, I've got to say Top Gun Maverick. It's just so much fun. It feels like a proper old school action flick that we haven't seen for a long while. Tom Cruise is brilliant in it. The special effects are great, and a lot of it is all done without CGI, which is great. Yeah. After 40 years nearly that they brought back Top Gun, I honestly thought it would be okay. I never thought it would be as brilliant as this.
Yeah, it's a super. Did you like the original, Pete?
Yeah, I liked the original. It was a lot of cheesy 80s fun. There was too much volleyball scenes, topless volleyball scenes, but it was a lot of fun.
It was good. Which one do you prefer, the original or the Top Gun Maverick?
I think it's Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, definitely, it's got to be.
Yeah, I thought it was a really, really great movie. I watched it this year, and I'd seen the original years ago, but I wasn't super keen on it, and I rewatched the original after watching Maverick, and I thought it was a really good movie as well. And they're very similar, aren't they? Very similar movies, I'd say. But similar type of plots, but yeah. So that favorite movie of this year so far. Favorite movie of 2022 so far, Pete?
Me. Oh,
yeah,
definitely favorite of the year so far. Great film.
Awesome, buddy. Paul, what about yourself? Favorite movie of 2022 so far?
Probably the same.
The same, yeah.
Yeah, it was probably the most hyped and look forward to movie. It got delayed that many times. It's still getting delayed. It's not out till the 1st of October on physical, so it should have been out by now. But yeah, they're just trying to get every little bit out of it, I think, which is good. And there's also rumours that they're going to do a sequel to that film.
Would you like to see a sequel, Paul? So that one,
yeah, but I would like it to go to Miles Teller. I hope it's to do with him, because he deserves it. He was brilliant. They all were. Like Pete said, it was just everyone was natural in it. There was no there was a bit of cheesiness, but it was just it was miles apart from the 80s one, which I really like. On Twitter and stuff, it just gets slated. People really don't like that film. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know if it's just Tom Cruise. I used to really hate him when I was younger. I used but I've come to admire him a lot now. I think he's fantastic. He puts in 100% effort in everything he does. I really can't wait for the new Mission Impossible as well. I think.
Yeah, they're going to be ace.
But yeah, Top Gun Maverick. It wasn't a letdown. It was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. It'd be interesting to see if because it must be it's getting up the ladder of being the highest grossing movie of all time, isn't it? It's getting close to Avatar now. So
I've got it on stream. I bought it when it come out digitally, but I've got it pre-ordered as well on physical. But obviously, I think the sound's not as good because it's come through the internet on a stream. So that's what I like about the actual disc. It'll give me setup a run for its money. So really looking forward to it. It was just brilliant. I think it was perfectly cast. I like the bit obviously with Val Kilmer. I thought that was brilliant the way how they dealt with that.
Yeah, definitely.
It was full of it just was a roller coaster of emotions when you're watching it, and then the bit at the end was just I don't want to spoil it, but it just me and the wife was just whoa, it's just turned into Mission Impossible. It was just it was brilliant. It was just I really like to see what that director does as well. In the future, I think is he going to be one of the next big action movie directors?
Yeah. Who was it? Who directed it? Who was it?
It was Krasinski. Is that his name?
Yeah,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Did he do the Tron Legacy one? Is this the guy? Is that
yes.
That guy?
Yes.
Is that
He
a
did
one?
do Tron Legacy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard something like that. It was someone like that.
Yeah. He's. I think he's doing something else with Tom Cruise. I think
he did Oblivion with Tom Cruise as well.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's doing something else. So he's going to in talks for the next one. I'm not sure, but there's him. There's a little group of them. There's Tom Cruise. There's Macquarie.
And from Mission Impossible.
Yeah, even he had something to do with Maverick as well, Macquarie. So it's just brilliant.
Good crew behind it. Isn't it? I mean that Oblivion. You mentioned Oblivion's a brilliant.
Yeah.
I really like that movie.
Yeah, it was just something that's been lost for a while. When you watch The Rock and films like that, you know what I mean, Con Air and stuff. Yeah, and you thought, films like that have been, films like that have been lost for a while. And Top Gun Maverick had a bit of that in it as well. So it was wow, you come out the cinema and everybody was talking about it, and it was just brilliant to see.
Yes.
Let's hope, obviously, if they do make a sequel, it isn't a letdown, because that's the only thing, isn't it? That was a sequel to Top Gun, and it trumps Top Gun.
Yeah.
But the only thing I found a bit weird was there was no there was a void between when he got kicked out again and brought back in, and the Jennifer.
Connelly,
is it her name? Yeah,
Connelly,
Jennifer Connelly.
Connelly, yeah. She just appeared, and there was no what happened and stuff. There was a bit of that, but there was no I would like to see something else if they do make a sequel. What happened between obviously was it Kelly
McGillis? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously there was no mention of her, even though Kilmer was in it and stuff, and there was a few nods to the original.
I don't think she was asked to come back at all, was she? By the sounds of it, she wasn't.
No.
I don't think she and Cruise got on very well when they made the first one, so that's probably why she was asked.
Yeah, but there's just it was just a bit of a void. I thought, because that was the first thing that I said when I come out with it. I said, "Well, what happened between then and now?" But apart from that, it's probably the best of 2022.
Maybe her character comes back as the villain in the third one. She's this super villain. She's got these high tech airplanes, and she's trying to destroy Tom Cruise. That's the plot of the third one.
She looks totally different, right? She's not like how she looks now. I think she's got really short hair and stuff now, and she looks completely different. I think she's one of those who just doesn't doesn't want to be in the limelight and stuff much. And I think the last film I seen her in was Stakeland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got another one for Maverick. I'll be saying I'm all in on Maverick as well. That's my favorite so far.
It's just been a strange year for cinema. I think really think it's struggling at the minute, and movies are going. Well, cinema is. I think I don't know. It won't happen yet, but down the line, I think something really bad's going to happen with it. Like they're just stuff's getting snubbed and getting put on streaming and stuff. You know, like the Lord of the Rings, the series and stuff. That is like movie material, and it's on Prime. Why Prime? You know what I mean? Like, I'll be streaming. I'll be saying at the cinema, like, go and see every episode of that at the cinema or something. You know what I mean? Pay to go and see it. It's fantastic. It's just, it's like Disney are doing the same. They're just, you know what I mean? Everything's just going.
It's like Prey. I think that should have went to cinema.
Yeah, that would have done really well. It you know, would have boosted cinemas, like people like Cineworld and stuff. Are they still closed? Cineworld or whatever you call them?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with them because they seem to, like, someone said to me the other day, it's like the London and some like the big like Liverpool and stuff like that around near where I am. Some of the bigger ones are still open, but I think some of the smaller Cineworlds, I don't know what cinemas you have in your hometowns and stuff, or whether you know any different. But it sounds like the big ones are still open, but maybe some of the small ones.
It's crazy. I have a View, an Odeon, Cineworld, which is further, but View's only $4.99 ticket.
Yeah,
Odeon's like £10 a ticket. It's crazy. It's like I know which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose the $4.99 one because
too right, mate. Too right.
But yeah, Top Gun Maverick for me for 2022.
Fantastic film. Phil, what about yourself? Is this 4 in a row? Are we going for what's your favourite movie this year so far, buddy?
It's not Top Gun Maverick. That would be my top 5 though.
All right. Okay.
My favourite's actually it's an Indian film called RRR. It's also an action film. Yeah,
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Did come out. It's on Netflix.
I fixed it.
Okay. Yeah, it did come out in the cinema briefly, but I missed it. But it is on Netflix now. It's like it's this sort of big 3-hour epic Indian action film. It's about these two guys. One of them's like a resistance. It's during when the colonial rule of India, and one of them's like a freedom fighter. The other one's like an undercover cop, and they become friends without knowing who the other one is, and that. And things happen, and then eventually they sort of team up to like fight all the British, army and that. And it is absolutely ridiculous. It is like some of the most over the top things you'll ever see in a film, but it is just so entertaining. The most fun I've ever had watching a film, I think, in years. It's really.
I've heard it's really action packed.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's what would be so where would Top Gun Maverick go? Phil, what is it? You in top 5? Did you say? Yeah.
Top 5. It'd probably be number 3. Number 1 would be RRR. Number 2 would be Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then number 3 would be Top Gun Maverick, I think.
Yeah. Everything Everywhere and All at Once. And what did you think of that? Like the first watch of that, did you take it all in? Because I watched that first time. I thought it was good, but I struggled to take it all in.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think I got it. But it is a lot of take in, isn't it?
Yeah.
This didn't happen in my cinema, but there were apparently someone did tell me that when they went to see, in the fake, the end part.
Yeah.
Like when he went to see where people got up and left. That didn't happen in mine, but that happened in some other screenings.
Oh, it was cool. It was good to see the guy from the Goonies and the second what's his name? What's his name in the Goonies? I can't think of his character.
I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was good to see. But I think he's coming into the Loki season 2 now. The actor.
Yeah. He was at the Disney thing and where he met Harrison Ford. And
that was it. Yeah. That'll be good to see. But that's I thought that was another great movie this year.
Dr. Jones.
he should get an Oscar nomination for that film. That actor, because he had to play like many different versions of the same character. He had to play them all differently. And so he really should get some awards consideration when the time comes, because he was really good. Because that would have been very difficult to play all those different versions of him.
Definitely. definitely. I thought it was superb. I hope we see more of like him in more films now. I hope it's like this is like the bit of a resurgence with him doing acting and stuff. So it'd be great to see. So what was that? What was that film called again, Phil? It's called the RRR. The RRR. Right.
It stands for like Rise, Revolt, and then I forget what the third one stands for. Is it Revolution? Maybe, I'm not sure.
Superb.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out, mate. That sounds good. Sounds like a good film, that one. Sounds awesome. Joe, can you hear us, buddy? So if you're listening along or you're watching it...
Sounds like a stuttering pirate.
I don't know if you can hear us, Joe. Can you hear us, mate? I think Joe's out for a moment. Yeah. But we'll go back to Joe.
You can
hear us,
everything.
Joe.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Joe.
Can you? Yeah.
I think there's just a bit of a delay. That's all, mate. Favorite movie of 2022 so
I can hear everything. Can you not hear me?
No, we can hear you. We can hear you, Joe. We can hear you.
I can hear. Oh, beautiful, man. This is a nightmare.
Don't worry, we can hear you, mate. So what say you? 2022 movies. We can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Is it better now?
Yeah. We can.
I hate my life. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Literally, I was gonna have one of these. I would say, let's go check everything first. Don't work with kids or idiots. Let's see. So, to be honest here, I haven't watched that many films this year just because when I needed a break in March because I was just absorbing too much, like I mentioned. But I found myself doing a happy mix of going back to classics and just, you know what I mean? Like I think of what a lot of people make the mistake of going forward and staying with what's coming out. And like I like to revisit old films like Silence of the Lambs, Jason and the Argonauts. You know what I mean? I like to watch films like that just because I love the history of cinema. But the films I watched this year that I really liked was I loved Black Phone. I thought that was great. I haven't seen Maverick yet though. Oh, don't hurt me. I haven't got around to that. But I would say my favorite. I loved X. That's probably my favorite film of the year so far.
It's a good one, that one.
Well, I haven't seen that yet.
Was it with Mia Goth?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Pearl.
I just liked it. Yeah, I can't wait to see that film. Yeah. Can't wait to see that.
And so Maxine as well.
Is Pearl? Is that like? Isn't which one's the prequel to X? Then is it Pearl? Is it? Yeah. Right. Okay.
And then it goes back to the. I think the third one's going to be in the 80s.
80s.
Yeah, because the teaser trailer was just brilliant. It was just a fantastic 80s.
But I like it because they're doing different styles, aren't they?
Yeah. X was good. I really enjoyed it.
So what about the Black Phone?
Batman as well.
Is the Black Phone? Where would you rate that as horror movies? Is it one of the best in the past couple of years? Would you say, or?
You know what? I'd probably say so because there's some films that come out that I just love rewatching, like Cruel, for example, and the one with the crocodiles in Florida. And I can watch that over and over again, and I know the story, but I just enjoyed that story. And the same with Black Phone, I can watch it, and it's different. You know what I mean? Like Conjuring 3, for example, was a big letdown for me. And I think the first one was good, second one was okay, and I think that's the problem with horrors is they start off with a great idea, and then they kind of milk it too much to the point where you're like, So the first Conjuring is still effective now, but the second one and the third one, especially the second one, it's set in Enfield. I live around the corner from Enfield. Enfield is nothing like they portrayed it in the film. It's like this really happy music. It's like if you've been to Enfield, there's not this really happy Hollywood type music. In the background, it's like what they talk, and the way they talk is to London. It's like, oh mate, what's going on? Can I show your shoes, Gav? No, bloody hell, there's a ghost in my house. You know what I mean? It's like no one in Enfield speaks like that.
Yeah, there was a TV series about the Enfield haunting, like from a few. I think
it was on Sky. I think.
It was on Sky. It was much more accurate.
Yeah.
Well, depending on whether you believe in that sort of stuff, but it's much more accurate to what actually happened, apparently. It was very good, actually.
I'm looking
I thought that
forward
was better.
to number 4. Apparently, is it Patrick Wilson? He's directing it, and apparently
Oh,
it's
is
going to be. Yeah, he's like.
To be honest, Enfield Town Centre is scarier than the house.
I'll be honest. I've never watched any of these movies. I'd be too much of a scaredy cat to watch any of these. But
Yeah.
they look like
They're good, and I like Insidious as well. That's a good one, Insidious.
Mm.
But then they just deteriorate.
Yeah, they milked it.
Then you just lose interest, and it's just. But apparently, Conjuring 4 is going to be apparently as good as the first one, because Patrick Wilson is going to direct it apparently. But
Yeah, I think he's directing Insidious 4 as well. I've heard.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. He's directing one of them. I can't remember. It might be Insidious. I'm not sure. Yeah, but
I don't find Insidious that scary, to be honest. I watch it with people, and I'm like, oh, if you like people that have done like horrors, or like I'm like, oh, you wait till you watch this, and you watch it with them, and they're like, this isn't that scary, and you feel like a right idiot because you're like, I pushed this so much. That little dancing guy dancing to that music, it's like I was scared of this, and all these people aren't.
Yeah, I never saw the Insidious films. I didn't really watch a lot of modern horror films, to be honest, like the older ones. I did like the first Conjuring, though. That one was good.
Yeah,
That was great.
yeah.
Is anyone doing the Halloween October challenge of a movie a day?
Yeah,
Are you all going for that?
Yeah.
What's going to be the first movie then? Are we going to see you?
Well, yeah. I've got all me shout Halloween 4Ks here, and they're going to be the first ones.
You're all prepped.
Yeah, and then I'm due the next 3 on 4K, which is like a box set, which is 6 H2O and Resurrection. I know the rubbish, but I just want to.
So sorry.
I kind of like 6, actually. I didn't think 6 was that bad.
Yeah. I would have liked them to. I don't know if they're putting the other cut in, because apparently the other cut's like really supposed to be really bad. There's some quite bad scenes in it that got cut. But yeah, I've got loads of horrors in here, so I'll be going through them all. Dario Argento's and Halloween's and It and stuff. Yeah, but yeah. Looking forward.
Oh,
to
What about you, Phil? What Halloween movies? What are you going to start off with?
I don't know. I've got some horror movies I've bought that I haven't watched yet. So just looking at my shelf to see. I did pick up that film. I showed it in one of my recent videos. Malignant.
Oh yeah,
I missed it at the cinema and I picked it up.
Good.
Unfortunately, some also on the Blu-ray forum spoiled the twist, so I know what the twist is, which is kind of annoying. I hate when they do
She's
that.
a man.
Yeah.
I always say I see it in like it was the recent 4 movie, and it was a few months ago, and I seen it in a stream where someone put a big spoiler for that movie. Yeah. And it's so like I've got tonight in the stream. It's like you have to be a subscriber, so hopefully we don't get any like idiots like that coming in. But it's annoying when you get that in a stream when someone spoils a movie for you. It's
a little bit of that, like, just be careful when there's a film coming out. Like obviously the new Halloween. Don't use if you're on social media. Don't use it as a hashtag, because that's how they get you. They'll send you. And they'll message you the end of it. And that's what happened last year. A few people got.
And don't search it up on YouTube about a week before, because YouTube will remember that you've searched it up and send you recommendations.
I've tried to avoid everything with ends, because apparently the trailer shows some really big spoilers, and also the soundtrack titles have spoilers in them as well. So just avoided it. So I just want to go in blind.
Didn't happen with was
What's
it
the last one called? Like Michael's death scene.
There was the soundtrack, episode 1, Star Wars episode 1. The soundtrack CD came out like a few weeks before the film did. And the last track was called like The Death of Qui-Gon. So if you bought the soundtrack or you saw the film, you knew he was going to die at the end.
Oh man,
yeah.
It's like The Sixth Sense, the official soundtrack. Bruce Willis as a ghost, the official score.
Mental.
What about you, Pete? Halloween movies. What are you going to start off with, do you reckon?
Oh, well, I need to watch the original Fright Night. I need to watch some of the other Friday the 13th films and watch the original Halloween 2. So quite a few to get through.
Yeah.
It's a good
Fright
one.
Night's
Halloween.
good.
Yeah. I got the
you-
Blu-ray, got it
Yeah.
about a couple of months ago. Still sold, so I'll leave
Yeah.
it for Halloween and give it a watch.
Yeah.
But what's interesting with that film is that it wasn't meant to be set in a hospital. It was meant to be set in a high-rise building, I think. But it got changed last minute.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Super.
But yeah, it's got some really like brutal scenes in that one as well. Like,
Oh, well, I got the DVD with it, and apparently it's been cut to shreds, so I'll probably avoid all that, unfortunately.
Oh, mess.
Yeah.
And what about yourself, Joe? Is it going to be the Conjuring or Insidious? What would be your starter movie for Halloween recommendations?
No, it's always Trick or Treat. It's always like my first movie of the year.
Right. Okay.
For Halloween. Well, like, one of my favorite, like Sam, the Pumpkin Sam is my favorite horror villain in any film.
Is it a slasher? That one, is it? Yeah.
No, it's an anthology series. It's really underrated.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like set in the same town, and there's 4 stories, and they all interlope. And Sam, he's not like he's not like Jason or anything, but he's in each story because he's like the saint of Halloween.
Yeah.
And he's like in each of these anthology stories, he appears in all of them. It's cool.
yeah,
And my second one's a film called Haunt. I don't know if anyone
Yeah.
knows that film.
that was didn't Eli
That's
Roth?
a really good one.
I think Eli Roth. He was like executive producer or something on that.
I've heard of that one. It's
Yeah, is that the one with all the masks on the
Yeah.
on the front cover? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
It's quite a twisted.
I
film.
liked it. It's like a good Halloween film.
I've just actually
That's it,
recommended that
with the front
to a
covers.
few
Yeah,
people.
I liked it. I thought that was a decent horror, and that's it.
Yeah, I couldn't
It
figure out.
is, and the mixture of effects.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if that was Sam or a Sackboy behind you.
And I would say Halloween, obviously, and I like to
Yeah.
go to an old school one, like a random one. Like I probably choose The Omen this year.
Oh yeah, I love The Omen.
Oh, that's
they're
a good
great.
one.
They're great.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
the
good
Omens.
as well. Exorcist's always a good one as well.
Yeah.
Right, let's go to a few of the see who's in the live chat. Anyway, let's see who we got. We got first of all, we got Magpie Movies saying evening all evening.
Everyone's moving in slow
Paul.
motion.
Hey, Magpie Movies. We've got as well Catman.
Well, Sackboy. I'm sitting on Sackboy.
Everything.
It's not good,
Good morning.
but it's
It's a Morgan
just
Sam.
Sam, good old fashioned Sam. I'm very lagged behind you.
Yeah.
Very lagged.
I just know it.
Little dude.
It's no worries, Joe. It's no worries, mate. Who else have we got? We've got Media Collector Madness. We got Sean. How you doing, Sean? Evening, gentlemen. He's
Hey,
saying.
Sean.
Sean also says the unbearable weight of massive talent was a surprise hit for me. I'll be honest, I've not seen that movie just yet.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the movie, Paul? What do you think of the movie? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I had it, and I give it to Magpie Movies, Paul, as a subscriber mail. It was just a one watch movie for me.
Yeah.
But Nicolas Cage was fantastic in it, and I'd like to see him come back into the fold. With obviously fingers crossed for
Everyone.
National Treasure 3, because apparently there's some rumblings of that.
They got the TV show as well, haven't they? They got the
Yeah, I hope that
Maybe.
ties into it. I think that's
Yeah.
because
that'd be cool.
what's his name? Harvey Keitel. He's back
Harvey
in it.
Keitel, yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't they got the other guy as well, who's like the one who's doing all the gadgets and stuff from the Hangover movies?
Yeah. Was it Paul? His name was.
I can't remember
Oh
his name.
God.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
He's apparently he's back in it. He's not in the trailer though, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But he's
That'll be
cast
good
in
to
it.
see.
Yeah.
That'll be superb. Anyone
Yeah,
else watched Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent? Phil, have you seen that one?
No, it's on my Cinema Paradiso queue though, so hopefully they should send us it at some point. I'll be able to watch it. I missed it at the cinema, I'm afraid.
It looks good. I mean, I think it's great to see Nicolas Cage back. I mean, I hope he does more, like Paul said, more sequels to like National Treasure, and I know they're on about Face Off too. That still seems like a bit of a bizarre thing to me, but I mean, if they do that, that'd be That'd be good to see as well.
John Travolta though. Now,
Yeah.
I think Nicolas Cage looks better than him.
Yeah.
Just looks a bit. Yeah.
I was talking this with my friend Rob actually. The other day. I was just saying there's that now, but back in the day, John Travolta, was there a film star as charismatic as John Travolta back in the day? Very few, I would say.
Yeah. Now he just constantly looks like the front cover of Paris with Love.
Yeah.
Like,
the bald head.
That's just him. Yeah.
He's owning that bald head now, though. He's owning it. He's give up on the wigs now. He's like, I'm just going full on bald. Like, he's like, he's going for he's going to be Lex Luthor in the DCEU next. That's what he's going to do. That's what I want to see him. Have you seen that movie, Pete? The Unbearable Weight of
I haven't seen it yet, but I did pick it up the other week, so I'm looking forward to watching it soon. Looks like a lot of fun. Pedro Pascal's in it as well as his best friend or his #1 fan, and the trailers do look great.
Yeah.
It looks good. That I'm looking forward to seeing that myself. It's good to have you in the live chat as well, Sean. Let's see who else we've got. We've got Retro Girls UK. Hey lads, hope you're all okay. Thank you for joining us, Retro Girls UK.
Okay.
Good to have you here at the Movie Cheer Town live stage. It's a real festival. This we're all at a festival in a field. We're just in our little tents now, just doing our little live stream. Honest. Let's see what else we got. We watched Ticket to Paradise a few days ago. That was a brilliant movie, and I'll tell you what, I don't know what that movie is. So, anyone know about that movie?
It's like a
George Clooney one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Julia Roberts, isn't it?
Julia Roberts.
Is this a new movie? Is it? Or
I've seen the trailer like advertised on like TV and stuff. So yeah.
It's like a rom-com, I think.
Yeah.
Something to do with their daughter going with a guy, and they don't
Yeah.
really think he's the perfect suitor.
Yeah.
And then
something like that.
it's quite good.
It ends up like how they went on, doesn't it? I think like how they met or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so,
All I know about that film is that it just got delayed for its release. I think
Yeah.
it's something because of the Queen.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Sorry about this.
Hey, don't worry, Joe. It's no problem, mate. No problem at all, buddy. We've also got Forgotten World of Movies. Andy in the chat.
Like, videos.
Oh, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Andy. Nice to have you on, mate. Sorry, Joe. What do you say, buddy?
I was saying, like, I can't connect to a simple stream. Yeah, I can like export videos on like two. You know what I mean? It makes no sense.
It's better now. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know. We can hear you now, mate. Touch wood. Touch wood. I don't know. There's no wood here, but I mean.
Well, there
hope the
is
wall's
if you
made
get
out of
too
wood.
excited. Oh, it's that kind of stream. Oh god.
We're not an hour in yet. Let's calm down. It's pre 9 o'clock.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nice to have you in here, Andy, as well. Good to see you, buddy. We've got Sean saying, what is your favourite movie score? Start off with Joe. Joe, favourite movie score? What have you got, buddy?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, you know what? I've got so many, but I'd probably say my favourite is probably Inception. Especially, I just love how epic that makes you feel. Like if you got headphones on and you listen to the one, I forget what it's called, but it's the main one you normally hear. That's the one. When you hear that on full blast with your eyes closed, it literally feels like you're floating. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I love all of E.T. Great soundtrack, Jurassic Park, so many. Like Schindler's List, great. But for me, for just how pumped I feel, it's Inception.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Hans, is he one of your favourite composers? Would you say, Joe?
That is all.
Right. What about you, Paul?
Probably.
Yeah, I actually saw him in London once. Hans Zimmer. Random.
It sounded like you were saying you see Paul in London once. I don't. we need to clarify. Was it Paul? Was Paul composing, or was it Hans Zimmer?
Paul. I can't point. Paul.
No, mate. He's a great composer, Hans Zimmer. I think that Interstellar's another one. Another great. I was watching one the other night. Black Rain, Ridley Scott one.
Oh yeah. Michael Douglas. Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That's a really good score.
Really, yeah, great. And he's got like, because he wasn't he in a band before he started doing composing, and he was like in an '80s band.
I don't know if he was in a band, but he was in the music video for "Video Killed the Radio Star." He's the keyboard player in that music video. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is it the Boggles?
Buggles,
Buggles,
yeah.
or Buggles, yeah, whatever.
Buggles, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like a keyboard player with long hair and a pair of glasses, and apparently that's Hans Zimmer when he was younger.
My favorite
Wasn't Benny Elfman in a band as well?
Yeah.
What was that? Benny Hill was in a band with Hans Zimmer. Oh,
No, Danny Elfman was in a
Elfman.
band.
all right.
Benny Hill.
Sorry, mate. That's my. I thought you said Benny Hill then. I was like,
That's the best film. I want to see that film. It'd be like Tenet, but Benny Hill.
I've lost my train of thought. So Benny Hill's definitely not in a band with Hans Zimmer. But Danny Elfman, yeah, he's another great one. Paul, what about yourself? Who's your favourite composer? And your favourite movie score, sorry.
Well, my favourite composer is probably Ennio Morricone, and probably The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's the most iconic for me. It's just brilliant. Yeah, I love all of his Western scores. Like, they're just fantastic. Even on like some films like I watch, and I'm like, oh, it's Ennio Morricone's done that. Yeah. It's just amazing.
He's one of those composers where even if the film's really bad, his music's always like amazing.
Quentin Tarantino, as I was watching Kill Bill the other night, and it was just as soon as you hear those trumpets and stuff, and the bells, you just know it's Ennio Morricone. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, Pete? Favorite movie score?
For me, I'd probably either have to say Pirates of the Caribbean for the main theme. I think it's so epic. Even if you're sitting on the bus in a traffic queue, it feels like you're going at 110 miles an hour. And I'd always say there's a recent one, Michael Mann's film Thief. The music by Tangerine Dream is just so good in that. The simple electronic 80s soundtrack. Love it.
Those in Goblin were like so iconic in some like a lot of the movies. Brilliant.
I haven't seen Thief, but I really love their score for what's it called, Sorcerer?
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer. Fantastic score that.
Yeah.
And what about you, Phil?
My favorite, I think I talked to you a bit about this in the comics on it, but my favorite score is Moonraker. I didn't really like the film very much, but I love the music. It's just beautiful. John Barry is probably my favorite composer, actually. But actually, my favorite, the bit that plays when they're going into space, I think it's called Flight into Space. It actually might be my favorite piece of music, like from anywhere. It's just a wonderful piece of music. I love that.
Did John Barry do the Dances with Wolves soundtrack as well?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
brilliant that one. Yeah.
And didn't you say, Phil? I remember you saying in the about that score. Didn't you say it's been lost? The recordings have been left.
The original master tapes, because all of the Bond films generally the scores are recorded in England in like a particular studio, but Moonraker, because of tax reasons, that was made in France. So they recorded it in France, and it was stored in like some French studio, and apparently they can't find the recordings anyway. It's got lost somewhere or misplaced, and they can't. So they can't do like a full, because the soundtrack album only had some of the tracks, like about 10 of them.
Yeah.
And they can't find the full score to do it, because a lot of the Bond films have like an expanded soundtrack with the full music, but that one doesn't, because no one knows whereabouts in this French recording studio the master tapes are like. Unfortunately, the paperwork's been lost or something.
It is. I agree. That is a beautiful score, though. It's like just you listen to it and it's like. It's just got that magical effect of the movies, hasn't it? That one. It's a great score, that one. Right, we're going to go to another pre-planned question now. We've got one from a member of the Movie Cheertown community. I've got one from Mark in the community. Mark says, how do you organize your movie collections? Do you do it by genre, A to Z, by favorite directors? What have we got? We're going to go with Pete first. Pete, how do you organize your collections, buddy?
You can tell by my reaction, not very well.
Explain.
Well, I try to put all the DVDs together, TV series together, and the Blu-rays. I try to have them by like Arrow, Criterion, H&B collection, and like James Bond and like Marvel. The rest of it is just all shoved in together. It's just
any plans to? Have you got an idea what you'd like it to be like, or you're happy with that?
I got a new shelf, so that means I can mess about sorting out. But it's just finding time to do it. I'm going to need about a couple of months to do it because I've got to find a system that suits me, and then that probably won't be right. The problem is now where it is if I want to watch a film, I want to watch that film. Where is it? And it takes me about 2 hours to find it because it's upstairs. And then when I check upstairs, actually, no, it's downstairs under a film that I bought the other day.
What about you, Joe? Organising your movies, how do you go about it? What about you, Joe? You hear me, buddy? It's okay.
What sounds out of sync.
If it's no problem. I tell you what, Joe, I'm going to come back to you. Hopefully we'll get you on in a second, mate. I'm going to go to Paul. Paul, what are your thoughts on this, organising your movie collection? How do you go about it, Paul?
I don't have nothing in alphabetical order. Directors, nothing. All I do is just, this is the main shelf. I have a second shelf in the dining room, which I've started.
Well, you can't really win when it comes to like organization. Me personally, I always keep like the box sets. For example, like if I've got Godfather 1, 2, 3, I'll keep all them together, like the box sets. You know what I mean? Like Indian. I can hear you. Namaste. Nani Ellen Yeager.
We can hear you too, Joe. Yeah, keep on going on, mate.
Is it out of sync?
Just a tiny bit, but don't worry. Go. It's okay. You're fine. Can you hear us, Joe? Hey, look. It's a live stream. There's a few technical issues. It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to Joe. Joe, if you can hear me, I'm going to come back to you in 2 minutes, mate. Paul, sorry about that. What? So go on, buddy.
Basically, I just have sort of like horrors, all slips from the top, and then no slips at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just box sets like Arrows are all together. The Shout ones are all together. I don't have a system. Mm-hmm. I just think if you do have a system, you come like the only thing that I do like slips. Like some people say, well, why don't you take all the slips off? But then I'm left with more of the slips.
Yeah.
They just look
slips
better.
Are nice though.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and
especially on 4Ks.
Yeah, and like a lot more companies now are just making less physical media with slips. It's just sad to see, but they charge the same price. Like you could buy 4Ks now without the Blu-ray, and they're still charging the same price. It's mental.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have no order, no system. I just buy them and then stick them on the shelf. Or if they do come as a set, like I've got like the Mission Impossibles up there and the Halloweens, my Bonds. My Bonds are there. Where are we at there?
Fantastic.
There. There's my Bonds.
Hey.
Like the Daniel Craig ones and stuff. But don't have really a system. You just become like crazy if you have a system. You start. I've got to put them in order and stuff. And
yeah, I found that recently where I've like put like little collections together, and it was great at first, but then I found over time, then I'll take movies out and then I'll forget to put them back in the same spot.
Yeah,
and then it's just like the system just goes.
That's like
then basically.
One of the I get asked the question like, why do I just collect 4Ks? Well, one, there's less 4Ks than Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And it's obviously the better. Well, on some, it's the best you can get. So, I've got a 4K player. I might as well buy 4Ks.
Yeah.
But they do come with Blu-rays. But yeah, just if I was to go out and just be like a Blu-ray collector,
Yeah.
the space will just go in a matter of weeks and months. Whereas 4Ks, I can gradually build a nice collection, but I don't just buy for buying's sake. I buy them, but a lot of the stuff in my collection is that I've enjoyed from being little, and classics, and just stuff that I know I'm going to rewatch over and over, year and year and year. You know what I mean? Year after year. And it just, sometimes if they're really cheap, like you get these offers on HMV and Amazon for like £10 and stuff, I will buy something, but then I'll probably trade it in at CX and get something that that I'm after. But it's just you just become addicted if you have a system, I think. So I just
I know what you mean.
Put them all on the shelf, really.
What about you, Phil? What's your organisation system?
Well, it's all A to Z except for sequels. A sequel will go next to the original. So, for example, Dawn of the Dead is in the end section because it's the sequel to Night of the Living Dead, and also I have all the Bonds just lumped together in B. But otherwise, it's just all A to Z. Makes it easier to find, really.
So I think that's the best way to go.
Only bother is if you get a new disc, you have to like put it in and then move all the rest of them along.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The thing I find with these ones is you can get about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get about 6 box sets like the Arrow ones.
Yeah.
But can you hell get them out?
Oh God, those like the Billy bookcases from IKEA.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Oh yeah, they're a real pain with like box sets because they get in tight. Yeah,
I've not got skinny fingers, you know what I mean?
So I always leave it like one off, like a little space.
Yeah,
I could fit another on just so it's not so tight that I can't get it out.
I was trying to think of ways, and I was trying to think of getting measuring some like hard plastic, and then sort of like bending like the corner over so I can sort of like slide out, but I don't know if that would work. It's just they're impossible to get out.
Yeah, I need to get some new shelving units actually, because mine are all like I've had them for a while, so like they're bowing and the backs are coming off. So I need to get some new ones, I think, at some point.
I think shelving like IKEA is one of the best places.
Yeah, I'll probably get them from IKEA.
Yeah, they're just so like you can get them in all sorts of sizes, and a lot of them do fit together. Like you can buy these separate, and then there's like a little like hook, and you just put the hook on, they all join together.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But
that's brilliant. We've got another question from another pre-planned question. Take a shot from another Movie Cheertown community member. We've also got Paul, also known as Subillan on YouTube, and Paul has said, what is your best special effects movie? So special effects, visual effects, in sort of like movie history. What would you say your go-to one? I mean, I think off the top of my head, like Star Wars, your Lord of the Rings.
The Thing for me.
Is The Thing for you, Paul?
Yeah, it's just it was just groundbreaking. Like it's just.
What's the guy's name who does all the creature effects? He does the cameo in Dusk Till Dawn. He's
Tom Savini.
Yeah, that's
Tom
it.
Yeah,
he's brilliant, and if you see some of his stuff, it's
I think
Thing's great.
I think just the stuff that they did in that film is just incredible. Like when you watch it now, and you kind of like it is a little bit dated, but it's like it still holds up really well. Like but it was like one of the most terrifying films, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Early 80s, wasn't it? It was 80s, wasn't it? Early 80s.
Yeah. 80s.
Yeah,
How about you?
I'm 87. I was born in 87, so I still consider myself as an
80s.
Yeah, so I do. But I do. The Thing is just.
Have you seen have you ever watched the original one, like the black and white one, Paul? Like the.
No, I know there's 2 more, isn't there? Before that one.
No, it was a book, and then it was the black and white film, and then John Carpenter's film.
Was it?
Right. Okay.
And then of course the prequel.
Oh.
Ah, right. Okay.
I like the prequel. It's not bad.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah.
Over CGI'd a bit, but it's about the other station, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've still not seen it. I'll have to watch that one. I like The Thing though. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Pete, what about you? Favorite visual effects in movies? What would you say is one of your favorite ones?
Well, one film that I know that does have quite good effects is The Fly by David Cronenberg.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really do
All right.
think that's got some great ones in
Oh,
it.
I don't
Definitely.
think I've ever felt so nauseous watching a film. Like, I watched it and it was a good film, and I've got a copy, but I haven't watched it because it was just so gross. I was like, oh, it made us feel ill.
I sat and watched it whilst having a TV dinner, which wasn't
Oh,
a very
no.
good idea.
A friend of mine showed it to his daughter, and he said we're going to have like an Indian takeaway, and we're going to watch a fly. I said, why would you eat watching The Fly of all films?
Oh, blimey. That's a good choice. Another great choice, that one. It's The Fly. Have you ever seen any the sequels? Are they any good or to The Fly?
I've seen a couple of the 50s ones, but I haven't seen The Fly, the sequel to the Jeff Goldblum one. I didn't see that.
No, I haven't.
Isn't it like The Son of Fly, or is it, Phil? Is it like
the son of the sequel to the 50s version was The Return of the Fly, and the second one is then there's The Fly 2, but it is like about the son of Jeff Goldblum. So I guess it is The Son of the Fly, yeah. Yeah. But,
and what about yourself, Phil? What favorite visual effects in movies?
I've never seen The Fly, by the way.
Have you never seen it, Paul?
It's on my list, but
it's good.
Sorry,
it's a good movie. Just don't like Pete said though. Don't eat any food while you're eating while you're watching it.
It doesn't put me off. That doesn't put me off. I can eat anything watching it. Or a gore film. Yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
There's a lot of special effects. I quite like watching some of the older stuff, like Jason the Argonauts, because obviously not that obviously a lot of modern special effects. The special effects are very good, but you know how they did it. It was done in a computer. I'm not knocking obviously the people who do them work very hard, but I kind of like the older stuff because it's more because it was so long ago and they didn't have the same technology. It's kind of fascinating how they were able to get like the old King,
like stop motion, wasn't it?
Yeah, stop motion, and even just like something like Metropolis, the silent film. Some of the special effects in that, I look at that and I think, like for 100 years, like nearly 100 years, that's amazing. Some of the stuff they did, and they didn't have computers and everything, so stuff like that I find really fascinating, like the special effects and the really old stuff, because it's a lot easier now.
Oh yeah, definitely. What about yourself, Joe? Joe, we've got you back. Can you hear us?
I figured out the problem. I took my Nintendo Switch Ethernet cable, plugged it into my laptop, and then plugged my cable into that. Thanks, Nintendo.
Oh, thank God for Nintendo. Nintendo saved the day.
Thanks, Nintendo. That was a nightmare. Sorry about that, guys.
Don't worry. So we're talking about best favorite VFX special effects in movies. What would say? What's one of your favorites?
Mine's to this day is Jurassic Park 1. It's my favorite movie of all time. But it's I just think the way Spielberg balanced practical effects with CGI was perfect. Like the close shots, practical effects, long shots, CGI, and obviously you can spot some things like the Brontosaurus part beginning with the trees. You can tell it's a bit CGI, but when it comes to the T-Rex scene in the rain, that's still a flawless scene for me. I would say I'd say Terminator 2, fantastic, even to this day, and even Predator 1. I think Predator 1 could come out now and still fit in perfectly in the cinemas. So I'd say those are my top three for special effects.
Yeah.
Superb choices. And thank you again to Paul Sibyllin for the awesome question there. What we're going to do now, we're going to switch the play a bit. We're going to do something a bit different. I've not really mentioned this to any of you, so we're going to do a game show.
Oh my.
I don't know how this is going to go down. It's probably just going to fall flat on its face. I mean, but I thought, I was thinking the other night, I thought, you know what, let's try it. It's Movie Cheer Fest. It's night one of Movie Cheer Fest, and we need to...
Get ass kicked.
I'm going to do your boots for
So we're going to play a game called Movie Guess Quest.
Okay,
Movie Guess Quest. Right, I've got some titles as well. I've got some show titles. We're gonna throw it. We've got a theme song. It's not great, but it's a bit.
Oh, that's
piano.
Important. I was wondering if we were going to get a jingle or not.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, we're gonna go to the jingle right now, and then I'm gonna explain the game. and we're gonna have fun with it. And if it falls on its face, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
We don't care. We're live. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Movie Guess Quest.
Tequila.
Welcome to. Welcome to Movie Guess Quest. With me tonight, I have 4 challenges for Movie Guess Quest. It's going to be fun. I put you in some teams beforehand. You don't know your teams, but I've sorted it out. Who we got the teams? I'm going to put Pete and Philip. I'm going to put you 2 gents on a team together. So you're on the same side already, so that's cool.
Right.
You won't have to move anyone round.
Cool.
And Paul and Joe, you guys are going to be on the same team as well.
Yeah, boy.
We're all ready. See, you're probably wondering, what is Movie Guess Quest? I'm wondering that myself, but I've got the instruction manual here, and we're gonna see how it goes. So basically, I am gonna give working in teams. It's kind of like Guess Who a bit. This, and I'm sure there's probably a game this is similar to that I've ripped off most likely. But Movie Guess Quest, I am going to give you guys in teams. I'm going to tell one of the teams to look away while I reveal to the other team either a movie or a movie character. Now, then the other team has to take guesses to work out who it is, so they could say, is this certain person in it? Was this movie in the 80s? Is it an action movie, for instance?
Is it like the game what you stick on your forehead?
You know what, Paul? That is exactly what it is. I don't know what that game's called.
Headbands, isn't it?
What's it called, Phil?
Isn't it headbands?
I have no idea. Maybe
Well,
that's what is that what it's
you pick
called.
up some paper and stick it on your head. Yeah.
Well, this version's way better than that. This is like this one's got theme songs and everything. So this is 10 times better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we're going to put you in teams, and the team to get it in the less time is the winner. Nice and easy. But I will tell you this: I'll be refereeing it. You will ask the other team questions about the movie. They will have to give you the yay or nay. If, say, it's an 80s movie, they say yes or no. If you're unsure, team, let me know. I've got some information about the movies. But both teams have got free reveals. They can get free clues from me as the referee. And once you've used all your free lives, that's it. But each life, every clue is another turn. And you can't take a guess after you've had the clue, basically.
I'm so glad Joe's fixed his stream.
You know what I was thinking? If there was a time, it was now.
I was waiting for Joe to come back. I thought, yes, we've got him back. We're good for the game. So, any questions? Any questions?
No.
I'm
all for
right.
it.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with Paul and Joe. I'm going to give you guys the movie, first of all, that Pete and Philip are going to guess. And I'm also going to ask Pete and Phil, if you guys don't mind turning around in a moment, and I'll give you a shout when you come back in. I'm going to let the guys know the movie that you're going to be guessing, okay? So, and also, I want you all to, if I see any, like, tickery of the keyboards or anything, you're out of the stream. You're out of the game. The other team wins. And no one in the live chat spoiled us. No peeping at that live chat as well. I don't want anyone getting any spoilers. So, Phil, Pete, would you mind turning around, guys?
Of course. Yeah.
I see mirrors.
We're going to go for a movie first of all. I'm writing it on my big piece of paper now. Let's see.
I love Coraline.
Okay, so I'm going to show Paul and Joe this movie now, and everyone watching. Can you see, guys?
Yeah.
Do you know the movie?
No.
I'm going to say no.
No problem. Right, I'm going to give you another one. Don't worry, I've got all the choices.
God, you said no. I was like, oh, God.
There's more.
I think I know what the sport was, but
Never heard of Jaws.
yeah.
Right. Second attempt. This might be up your guys' street, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you both comfortable with that?
It's
Yes,
not,
sir.
it's not my favourite, and I've only seen it the once, but I know what it is. Yeah, I know about it.
You happy to go?
Yeah.
If you're unsure, if they ask you any questions, you're unsure. See the back of Phil and Pete's heads. Phil, Pete, you can turn around, guys.
Oh, we can. Okay.
It's like watching the sequel to *Malignant* with them two.
Right. So, let's go for it, guys. So, again, you got 3 clues. You can ask any questions. I think it'd be good if you do it in. So, like, Phil wants to ask one, then Pete go like that. It just makes it easier. So, Phil, and if you want to take a stab at the question at the movie, just agree between you, because that's another turn, guys. Every turn counts. So, let's go for it. Let's start movie guess quest. Phil, what have you got, buddy?
Right. So,
do you want a clue?
Do
you want a clue or
no? Is it a horror film?
It is.
Yes.
A horror movie.
Okay.
Yes. Pete, what have you got?
Is it a film from the 80s?
It is a film from the 80s. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm letting you sound sorry. I'm totally in my own world there.
Damn presenters.
Right, I'm going out of this now. This is on Joe and Paul now. Sorry, my apologies. Joe, Paul, the floor is yours.
Yeah, it is from the 80s. Yeah.
Phil.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so sorry. So horror film from the 80s. Does it have any sequels?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pete, what have you got? Do you want a clue? You want to be tempted by a clue, Pete?
Is it a slasher?
No.
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 Phil.
More tense than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
You need the background music.
Just narrow it down. Can I have a clue, please?
Not music.
You want a clue, Phil?
Yes, please.
Okay. First clue then. This movie was released in 1987. So that's your first clue, Phil. I'm going to go to Pete now. Pete, what do you think?
We need the Who Wants to Be the Millionaire music in the background, really.
Copyright.
Yeah.
You're going to take a stab at it, Pete, or you're thinking another clue, maybe?
Is the main character a male?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I think I might have an idea what it is, Pete. Should I take a guess?
Go on. I haven't got a clue, so go on.
Is it the Lost Boys?
Nope.
No. I was thinking 87, but okay.
Good guess.
It's a good guess. Pete?
Ooh. Can I have a clue?
Yes, you can have a clue. Of course you can.
Yeah.
So, this movie is about to have a remake / reboot with a female character in the lead role.
Oh.
So that is your clue. That is another attempt. So now I'm going to go.
Big clue.
See, you could have asked for the clue straight away. Yeah. Phil, are you going to take a shot, or you want
to? I'll take a shot because I do know what this is. It's Hellraiser.
It is Hellraiser. Yes.
You're right the first time.
So you got it in 9 goals, guys. Well done.
Okay.
Now the heat is on. The heat is on Joe and Paul. Can you get it in 9 attempts this next one, gents? What do you reckon?
We're going to get it in none. We're not playing. We can see it.
You're better off just using your clues.
Yeah.
Right, so same again. I am gonna ask you both to turn around, guys.
Yeah.
Let's see the back of let's see the back of those heads. And I'm gonna give Pete and Phil the movie choice. And if you don't know the movie, guys, if you want to go with a different choice, let me know. Let's see what we got here. We have got. I've got one here. This is a good one. I think this is a. Yeah. Right. Hang on. Let's see. Oh, hang on. I'm going to write something else down, actually. Let's go for this one. This is nice. I've got a choice here. Right. I'm going to give you the choice now. If you don't know it, guys, or you want to go with something else, let me know. Got both be comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Are you comfortable with that movie, or would you want a different choice?
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I know that.
That's fine. That's good.
Okay. I'm going to ask Paul and Joe to spin around on the turntable, and we're going to start movie guest quest. They've got to beat the 9 goals, and you're probably also saying, what's up for the prize here? There's no prizes. It's just bragging rights at Movie Cheer Fest. They're tag team champions of Movie Cheer Fest, the Movie Cheer Town stage, gents. And I think Joe's
Help is on the way, dear.
Joe is.
Sorry.
I thought you were going solo then, Paul.
I had to go to the toilet. I was like, oh God. Sorry.
It's okay. Right. So I've let Pete and Phil know the movie. Same again. I am going to let Pete and Phil referee it. And if you need any clues, you got 3 clues. Each clue counts as a go. Each attempt also counts as a go. Going to start off with Paul. Paul, what are you going with?
Is it? We've had horror. Is it an action movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe. What have you got?
Was it released in the 90s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul.
It was big in the 90s. Is Nicolas Cage in it?
No.
No.
Oh my God, that rules. That's like one movie left. Was it directed by Jerry Bruckheimer?
No.
No.
Yeah, that rules out a few.
Paul.
Oh God, sorry, I just squeezed.
Does it contain?
You're on 4 goals now, gents. You've got to beat 9.
Oh, do we need a clue?
Is the lead role male?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh God.
Joe, what are we thinking? Are you pressure's on now?
I know. I'm so glad they went to the toilet before this amazing game you put upon my life. I'm a nervous wreck. On my next video, I'm gonna be like this. So I'm gonna go for a clue. Let's go for a clue.
I'm gonna go for a clue. Okay. This movie came out in 1994.
Ooh, could be Cliffhanger.
So I'm gonna go to Paul. Paul, what are you thinking? Clue, attempt.
Oh, sorry. It's got to be 2 of the big.
You've had 6 goals. Pressure's on.
Has he seen a demon? It's like Insidious on his ceiling looking down like, run, man, I got this.
I'm just trying to, yeah. I've got
It's
like
Sly or Arnie. Oh.
So you got 1994. What else did we
1994.
say? It's a male lead.
Yeah.
Ooh.
male lead. Arnie, 1994.
You
Oh
could be
God,
running.
I've gone. I'm still here. Danger, Will Robinson.
I'm gonna go with another clue.
You're gonna go with another clue?
I'm not,
Okay.
I've not asked
I
for,
am here.
I'll ask for a clue, yeah.
I'm back.
Okay, this movie starred also Sandra Bullock in.
I know what it is.
I was going to say Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it
Where you
Speed?
going? Where you going with? You going Speed?
Gonna go at speed.
I was
All
gonna,
right.
I had a question. Does it have a vehicle? I didn't want to say it. So yeah.
It is Speed indeed.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
indeed Speed. So that means you guys got it in 6, 7, 8 goals. That means the Movie Cheer Town live stage Movie Cheer Fest tag team champions of 2022 is the 4K Chef and GeekyHiJynx.
Fusion.
Well, let's give a round of applause to Pete and Phil as well.
Yeah.
Well done. 9 goals. That was
Yeah,
awesome, mate.
I had some
Oh,
questions
fun.
in my head, and I was going to say, does it have a vehicle? And then I had a question when I said Nick Cage. I was tempted to say Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
That's the next one as well. I had some.
Yeah, because the Matrix came out.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah. But yeah.
Mission
Let's-
Impossible was 96.
Let's get to a few more in the live chat, and we got a live chat going on, and we have got, let's see, we've got as well Retro Girls UK. The only movie that gives me the heebie-jeebies is Cujo. I don't know what that is. Cujo.
Is that the film with the dog?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Raby.
it's about the dog.
Nothing
Yeah.
else. Is it a scary movie?
It's just, it's good. Like, I feel sorry for the dog.
It's
I haven't watched it.
not
I've
that
actually got, like,
scary because it was in. Oh,
I was going to
Go
say
on.
I haven't watched it because I'm actually scared of dogs in real life, so I'm too scared to watch.
Just start with Beethoven and work your way up. You know what I mean?
That would make for a very interesting double feature.
Beethoven and Cujo.
They open after dark.
We also got Media Collective Madness. I can't do horror. I'm with Sean. I'm not a big horror guy, but I'm definitely going to be watching some over Halloween. Sure.
Yeah.
We've also got Edward here in the chat. Hey, Edward. How are you doing? Then what else have we got? Let's see. We also got Sean again saying, "What is the most expensive movie or box set in your collection?" I will say I don't really. I mean, I probably won years ago was probably the Breaking Bad DVD. That was maybe like 30, 40 quid, but I wouldn't say anything over that. But what about yourselves, Paul? Most expensive one, would you say?
Your most expensive one, I think, was the Godfather trilogy, 4K Collector's Edition. I think that was over 100. Dawn of the Dead, which is right on the top. That comes in second, and then Drive, 4K. Look at that.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
That was really nice. That Drive one. It was nice. Nice set. What about you, Joe?
Oh man, I think the most expensive one was back in the day when there was like no Netflix, and I really got into 24.
Yeah.
And I bought it off a mate, and I watched the first 2 series, and I just got hooked. So I went to HMV, and you know, back in the days when they messed around with box sets, man. I think I bought it for like 120 quid for like series 1 to 6 and stuff. But same with like Supernatural. But now nothing. But back then you had no choice. You either watch it on Sky One, and hope for the repeat, or you had to go and buy it.
They were quite big boxes as well. I can remember the
Yeah,
X-Files.
they were massive.
Oh yeah.
Massive, yeah. Big X-Files.
It was like a boombox walking back. I went to the beach the next day. You know what I mean? With the 24 bucks on my shoulders.
What about you, Phil?
Actually, I'll just grab it if it.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah, go for it.
Oh
That'd be
my!
awesome.
It's past 9 o'clock almost. I suppose.
Is it going to be Godzilla?
Let's see.
Oh, that wicked pink one.
If I recall correctly, it was the Descent and Disruption. Alan Clark at the BBC. This was, I think it was like 150 or 200, somewhere between there.
Oh,
Wow.
Like
So what is it? What's the box set, Phil? What is it like?
it's a Descent and Disruption. It's basically there was a director called Alan Clark, and he did a lot of work on British TV, and this is like a lot of the stuff he did at the BBC. He directed probably the thing he's best known for is Scum,
Right.
That's in here. The
Oh.
BBC version of that's in here, not the film version, because it was actually made twice. Because it was made as a BBC drama, and then the
Yeah.
BBC banned it, so he remade it as like a film. Ray Winston is in both. So
That's
That is
cool.
superb, man. That is superb.
Yeah.
That's a
Mm.
that's
I
a
don't
big
think
box
you
set.
I
Yeah.
don't think you can get it. There is a reprint, but it's missing some of the discs because the BFI they could only license some of the stuff for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the initial limited edition. So if you buy it now, it's a bit slimmer and it's missing a couple of the discs, unfortunately. But still a good box set. It's a lot cheaper now than it was when I bought it.
Where's that in the collection? Is it A to Z or
D because Descent and Disruption.
you going for D? Yeah, I'm going for D. Right. Pete, what about yourself?
Oh, it's one of the Arrow box sets, or probably the Breaking Bad Blu-ray box set. I
Yeah.
think I got that
Yeah.
for about 30-40 quid.
Yeah, great. I love Breaking Bad. Do you watch Better Call Saul, Pete?
I only got up to season 2 of Breaking Bad. I need to continue it.
All right.
I only got up to season 2 as well. Actually, I need to watch the rest of it.
It's
Oh.
honestly, it's a great show. It's
Yeah.
both of you
I liked what I
definitely-
saw of it. Yeah.
It was good. I was getting into it, watching an episode or two a day, and then something just come up. I was just like, oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen the rest of it. And that was
You know
2
what's
years
funny?
ago.
I've got to season 2 as well, though. Then not much more than that. Something about the curse of season 2, and something happens.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happens in season 2? What is there like a what's the story? Because I know there's
It's the airplane one. With the airplane.
right, okay,
Yeah.
The stuff falling from the sky, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember
that's
that.
the one.
That's the
Eddie
first
Murphy.
TV series with me. It's like I'll watch like the first 2 series and I'll just get a bit burnt out on it, and I just never go back to it. Unfortunately, I don't watch a lot of TV because I never finish the bloody things anymore.
It is a good
Yeah.
series, but it does have some really slow episodes.
Yeah,
Even like as it like past series 2, it does have some really slow. Like it's a one that I've watched, but I don't think I could ever watch again. Just keep
It's a-
mind contained.
It's a long show to watch, and it definitely that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, we're going to go to we're getting to the hour and a half mark. Like I said, we're going to do about a 2-hour show this evening. We're going to go to another segment now of today's show.
Whoa.
It's not a quiz. We're done with the quizzes. We've got the champs for the show.
Yeah.
But we are going to do something here in Movie Cheer Town. I've done this on the last episode when we had Ben Ryder rated 18 on. I'm going to put you all guys on. Have you ever been to Movie Cheer Town, by the way? Has anyone ever been there? You ever been
No.
there? Oh,
I
it's
don't think
great.
so.
It's great, Joe. It's honestly come along sometime. But we have a truth box in the middle of Movie Cheer Town, and today I'm going to put you all on the Movie Cheer Town truth box.
Oh my god. I just want to say this is the friendliest version of Saw I've ever seen in my entire life.
So the Movie Cheer Town truth box. I'm going to give you all a choice, and you can only choose one. And you got to be completely honest because you're on the truth box. If you lie on the truth box, you know this truth box is haunted. It will come and haunt you later on this evening, and who knows what will happen. It's gonna be like one of them Insidious or the Conjuring films. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. But anyway, the Movie Cheer Town truth box. First of all, I'm gonna give you all a choice. The first choice is watching movies at home versus watching movies at the cinema. I'm going to go with Pete first of all. Pete, what are your thoughts on this? Choose one. What would be your choice?
Watching movies at home.
And why home watching over the cinema, Pete? What would you say?
Because there's not many annoying people at home. Only just me and my parents.
It's a good enough answer. Good enough answer. Do you not go? When was the last time you went to the cinema, Pete?
A couple of months ago, I think. It was okay, but there was like people in the background. I've had it where people bought fish and chips in, and all you can smell is fish and chips and cinema.
What's happening in this world?
So Pete is going with watching movies at home. Joe, what about yourself? What would you say?
For me, it's cinema. I think a film makes a more lasting impression on me. Because of the whole experience. Like, for example, the second Ninja Turtles movie back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember seeing that. And I was like, I was born in 86. Literally, I was very young. But I can remember wanting to rush to get to the cinema. They're looking at the clock. I can remember everything, the smell of the cinema, Paranormal Activity. I can remember that experience of everyone jumping in their seats, and Jurassic Park, the first time you saw a dinosaur come on the screen and everyone gasping because they've never seen effects like that. Whereas at home, yeah, you get the benefit of being alone and watching in your own, but sometimes you want the, like, I think there's no better feeling than watching a film you've watched with someone who's never watched it. We're waiting for a scene to come up, you know that's going to blow their mind. So being in a cinema, it's like that, but times like 100.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Paul, what about yourself? What home watching versus cinema? What are your thoughts on this?
I'm going to say home now. I would have said cinema probably pre-COVID, but I think cinema is a bit of a mess at the minute.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. It's just, especially like I say, I've got 2 cinemas closest to me.
Yeah,
and the times are just not very good. Like, I've got 2 small children, my wife. We can only pretty much get to go one day of the week, which is a Thursday. And then every time I go to look, they're like, we're not because I've got work the next day. We're not ones for going really late.
Yeah.
Or too early. We've got to go at a certain time. And they're not as flexible. It's not like when the big blockbusters come out.
Yeah.
There's like every half hour or something like that. It's daft. Yeah. But then as soon as like 3 days later, they'll just go to like a skeleton like timetable. And that puts me off as well. And also it depends what film you go to see. If you go to see a film that's like 15, it's not too bad. But if you go to see a lot of the Marvel films and stuff, you get a lot of the younger kids in, families. No Way Home was spoiled by a parent with 2 young children, and they'd been shopping, and the kids were just constantly kicking the carrier bags, the Primark bags. And like between that gap in the chair, my ear was there. And it was just like, I kept looking at my wife, and like the mother wasn't even doing anything. She was just like, you know what I mean? It just experiences like that put you off. And
I know what you mean.
It's like I went to see No Time to Die on my own, and there was one guy come in. I thought I'll choose like the most like obscure time because I went on my own. I don't mind when it's on my own. And there was nobody in, and there was one guy come in, and he'd been shopping, but he had a creative. I think I mentioned this on Pete's stream when I was on my Pete. He brought like a kind of a creative Stella, a creative Foster's in. He was
I can remember you saying that.
Yeah, and then when the film finished, well, just before it finished, he stumbled down the steps and decided to sit at the bottom, but left his shopping up the top because he drank that many cans because it was that long. I think the ending of it tipped him over the edge, quite frankly. But it's just stuff like that, just little bits where when COVID come along, I decided to sell me consoles because I just like I turned them on one day and I just thought, you know what, gaming just like went from my head. It was weird. It was just I've always been a gamer. I sold like the new Xbox and PS5, and I invested in like all my stuff made like a home cinema, and
it looks wicked behind you and everything when you got there.
Yeah, thank you very much. And with like the cinemas closed, I thought, well, this is my only avenue to watch something. So I thought I've got Atmos, and you know, I've got a great setup and stuff. I think I have, but I just enjoy it.
It's cool. It's great. It's like you got your own personal cinema. I think it's
and it's a bit more intimate as well. You know what I mean? Like Pete said, you got no one to bother you. I can't have it as loud because I've got obviously a 3-year-old and a
of course
5-month-old. But there's days when they go out and I'll sit and watch a film on my own and stuff, and it's just brilliant when I can just knock it up. And, just I really like the cinema, but the way it's going at the minute, there's stuff that want to watch that I'm watching on, like for instance what Pete said about Prayer. I'd have loved to see that at the cinema. You're just getting like a comfort zone. So it's just
I just feel like there's no atmosphere personally at the cinema as well now. You go and it's just like, especially when there's no one else in there as well. It's just it doesn't feel special.
There's that many things as well. You've got IMAX, you've got 4DX or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The rumbly seats in one cinema, something else in the other. There's all these different things now, and I'm like, what? And the tickets are a fortune. Like I think 20 quid.
And the drinks and the treats are as well.
Yeah.
In a mortgage, you pay those off, then you? Popcorn.
You do.
If you've got a cinema that's 20 minutes away, you've got to, if you drive, you're using your fuel to get there and back. Then you've got to pay to park, and then it just all adds up. You know what I mean? It's just that's why like our local cinema is like $4.99 and the Odeon's £9 or £10 or something like that. It's just mental. It's just it's just crazy. But there's films that I would have liked to see at the cinema that have been on streaming. It's just disappointing. But I can enjoy them in the comfort of my own home. And
well, I think that's the most important thing, Paul. You've got a space where you're happy, you're comfortable, and you can enjoy it. I mean, I love that. I'll be honest with you, I love the lighting behind you there. Have you got
It's wicked.
Yeah, it's just behind your TV. Yeah,
That one of those ambilight TVs, or
no, it's just
strips, isn't it? You put around the TV at the back. The Govey
it's just the strip.
Yeah.
Oh, they're great.
Just, I need to buy some more because it's not on properly. I need to take the TV off and actually stick them on, but because I've got an OLED and it's really thin, I don't want to like tamper with it, you know.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It feels very fragile. And the last thing I want is to be ripping the sticky lights off. So I've just got them draped, but because of the DVD shelf, it sort of blocks off the light here. And then it looks like I've got them running around and down the wall, but it's not.
I get you.
Yeah. But it's just
it looks like a separate room. Because I thought the room went further back on the where the DVDs are. Looks like almost like there's a back. That's where your DVD storage is because of that.
That's my telly behind. That's
apparently I'm blind.
I'm in my living room now, so it took me a while to convince my wife I can put all this stuff up and stuff. But she's still not happy.
Well, it's a brilliant setup, Paul. And what about you, Phil? Home watching versus cinema. What are your thoughts on this?
I know this is going to sound like honestly I can't choose because there are most films. Yeah, I probably prefer to watch them at home just because you know, like a comedy or something.
Yeah,
I watch it on my TV at home. Doesn't really make much of a difference. But there are certain films where I do feel like you lose something if you don't see it on the big screen. Yeah. So
Top Gun Maverick, that needed to be at the cinema. Yeah, I definitely see that. Yeah,
there are films that when I watch them at like 2001: A Space Odyssey, first time I saw that I watched it on TV at home. Thought it was really boring. Honestly, I mean, I admired the filmmaking. I thought it was quite boring. Then for the 50th anniversary, I went to see it. They re-released it at the cinema, so I went to go see it, and I couldn't take my eyes off the screen at the cinema. So that's a film where it's like I would have to watch it on the big screen to enjoy it. Because I can't really. I know that's a bit of a cop-out answer, but it really depends on what I'm watching.
Yeah, I went to see Lost Boys last year on the big screen for
that must have been wicked.
Yeah, prior, and then I've just booked up to go see The Thing at the end of October in the big screen as well, which I've never seen.
You ever seen The Thing?
No, I've seen it, but not on the big screen. It's just
that's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, so $4.99.
It doesn't feel like there's anything on at the cinema like new at the moment.
I do own it on 4K. I've got the poster up there.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's December now, isn't it? Like you've got Avatar coming out, and so a little low period now, isn't it? Before that kicks in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I think Indiana Jones 5. I think that's
that'll be great.
That's next year sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, I just want it to be like really good.
I've never seen the fourth, and I refuse to. I refuse to watch
I
it.
saw it in the cinema.
Yeah,
I want to see it for my 13th birthday.
It's a good film. I've watched it recently, and every time I watch it, I enjoy it more. But there is some daft things in it, like
the fridge.
The fridge, and then you've got Shia LaBeouf swinging with the monkeys in the trees and all that. And then he catches up to the car.
Yeah.
If I did that in real life, it would just snap.
To a kids' park, it's like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never catching up to a car.
I think they just went too far with the whole. If they left it like Aliens, but then the whole Crystal Skull thing for me just went out the window. Just
I think the problem was everyone says, yeah, but in the second one they jumped out of a yellow dinghy from a plane and it landed perfectly. But it's like, yeah, but the way they shot those films and the way it looked, it was like a homage to like the classical adventure films. So it made sense, but these films look too polished with CGI that looks stupid. You know what I mean? So there's got to be a balance.
The whole dinghy and fridge thing is the same thing, isn't it? Like, if you did that in real life in a fridge and you got blown that far, you just come out looking like scrambled egg.
If anyone's jumped on a sled in the snow and it's not been deep enough and you've literally just like winded yourself like on the pavement, like I've done, like if you do that from a plane with a flipping dinghy, you're done. That's like the biggest belly flop of all time. You'll explode.
That's a thing in like Temple of Doom when he's in the cage and the lower him down to like the lava, and if that, you know what I mean, your body would just melt.
Got him up.
He's just got like a bit of
danger.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Who have we got? We've got Video Tasty. We've got Gareth in there. Hey, Video Tasties.
Hey, Gareth.
We've got as well Back to the Future.
Tom.
Evening, boys.
Hey.
Right, Tom.
Hello.
Hey, Tom. Nice to have you here. We've also got we got Pop Culture 33. My most expensive box set is Columbia Classics, Volume 2.
I didn't buy that.
Have you seen that?
It's got
to bring it out.
I refused to buy that because even though it had some films I like in it, it's got Oliver in, and I hate Oliver, so I didn't want that on my shelf. So.
There's a new one Sony bringing out, Sony Classics, and
Sony
it's
Classics,
like I think it's going to be about 300 quid.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like 40.
Absolute bargain.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got as well Pop Culture 33. He is watch at home. I can buy the film day one and still be cheaper than taking the family to the theaters. No one eating loudly or on the phones during the movie. I think that's a big one as well, though, isn't it? Like if you see someone have the light on the phone and then you just like kind of just like your eyes just float that way. Then it can be pretty frustrating. We've got Jed helping. Nice to have you here as well, Jed, and Pop Culture 33 as well. Home for me. But I have the most of the movies I want on DVD, and the movies nowadays aren't as good to me. There's no risks taken in movies now. It's a similar formula every movie.
You're right.
Well, that's mainstream stuff, really. I mean, if you watch some of the smaller, like indie films or the foreign stuff, there's a bit more originality. But mainstream stuff,
Yeah, no, definitely.
I get into a lot of Korean like horrors now.
Oh yeah,
they're absolutely. They're amazing. Like Train to Busan, for example, one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible film.
What movie is that, Joe?
It's the one where it's like a Japanese zombie film.
Right.
It's probably one of the best zombie films made since like 28 Days Later, in my opinion. I watched it with my sister the other day, and she says it's one of the best films she's ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely worth seeing if you've never seen it.
I've not seen Peninsula yet. That's meant to be really
It's like Fast and Furious with zombies, really. A bit of Mad Max with it. It's not.
I've got to watch that now.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Retro Girls UK. I love going to the cinema, but in Cineworld they don't half drag on about the advertisements.
Yeah.
Well, they all do.
I was going to say, Phil, I think they all do.
Half an hour, isn't it? I think of
I just hate those parts. Sorry.
No, go for it, Joe.
Got silence in the court. Now, I just hate the bits in the cinema. No, they do like the banana thing with John Boyega.
Yeah.
He's like, this is not where you watch a film. This isn't where you watch a film.
Yeah.
And then he sort of yells to the camera and it's like, can you just play the film, please? And it's like, I know where I am. I'm not going to be like on my phone, you know what I mean? Or streaming. Just play it. And said this half an hour stupidness. It's like, go away.
The one for me was like so I had one of those Odeon Limitless cards for a few months, and every time I would go and see a film, it would always play that Nicole Kidman advert with it. I mean, in America, I think it's AMC, but it's the same advert, but they just changed the cinema to Odeon here.
Yeah.
And it's every film. I'm like, God, how many times do I have to see? Every time I come here to play this advert.
Oh,
hello.
Well, you could rehearse the advert word by word. You know it by the end of the
cinema. I think by the time I cancel, I think I probably knew it off by heart. Yeah.
I think they're getting it back to do another one. I think because apparently it was so successful.
Yeah.
So
No.
Enjoy that one.
Jed saying less and less movies are must see. Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
Jed. We got Ash from Popcorn and Horror. How are you
Yeah,
doing, Ash?
Hey, Ash.
Hey.
Evening, fellas. A lot of friendly faces on here tonight. There's a lot of friendly faces in the chat, the live chat as well. It's great
What
to
a
see.
movie.
Pop Culture 33. I am a great defender of Indy 4. The fridge is as bad as jumping out of a plane with a lifeboat. So I go with it. And we've got Back to the Future at home for me nowadays. I can't be doing with the people in the cinema.
Yeah, you get
right.
some yeah. You get
I'm
some
gonna-
really like annoying people in the cinema sometimes. I remember I went to see Kong Skull Island, and there was this woman, and she had like a 4-year-old son or something, and he kept asking a question at the film, and he's like, "What? Why is the monkey doing that?" And she kept saying "shh," which is actually more annoying than him talking. Was her going "shh" all the time. But
It's like, here, have some more cowpole.
yeah, I'm like, why'd you bring like a 4 or 5-year-old to see a like 12A film? Like,
it's just when I went to see Doctor Strange too, there was like all these
yeah,
giddy schoolgirls coming and
yeah.
we all sat right at the back, and one of them was like, "Oh, we just hate to see Benedict Cumberbatch," and I was just like, "Really?" like I just leave me in peace to watch this. But yeah, but the good thing is it come on Disney Plus, so
Yeah.
I watched it again.
Watch it, yeah.
But yeah,
So we're going to do another quick movie cheer town truth box, and
Oh, no.
one more Rings of Power versus House of the Dragon. I'm going to say Rings of Power versus House of the Dragon / Game of Thrones.
I know Tom will probably comment on this.
Yeah.
What? Because I know we were speaking to this about this before the show. Paul, what are your thoughts on this? I know you've watched Rings of Power. Have you watched House of Dragon or Game of Thrones as well?
I've watched Game of Thrones.
Right.
I can't justify paying that much for it on 4K yet. I'm going to try and get it possibly the end of the year. If fingers crossed on a good deal.
Yeah.
The end of year sales and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've not watched House of Dragon yet. But I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and like what we were saying about the cinema, like there's Rings of Power.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched up to episode 4, and it feels like it should be at the cinema, should be watched at the cinema. But it has got Atmos on Prime, which is good. So if you've got Atmos speakers, you'll get that. But yeah, it's just brilliant. It's got everything all about like that Lord of the Rings feel.
Yeah.
And you've also got the humor. It's just brilliant. Yeah, but I've not seen House of Dragon.
It's really good. Really good.
Yeah. Tom, who keeps commenting there, he's like a big fan of Game of Thrones. He's just bought this big Blu-ray collector's edition.
Yeah.
Comes in this big wooden box. It's massive.
It's like a couple £100 as well, isn't it, or something?
Well, he managed to put a daft offer in on eBay, and I think he got it really cheap. But yeah, it just looks amazing. But yeah, some of the episodes I like, and some are really slow, like what we're saying about Breaking Bad. But I think I would have liked to see more of the show, but I think they rushed it at the end because 2 of them went off to make something else. I think, but it should have had another 2 seasons. But just messed it up. But hopefully, they're gonna do these spin-offs, and this one's proven really successful with her. But it's just Lord of the Rings for me, I think. Yeah, all the way.
Yeah.
What about you, Phil? House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones versus Rings of Power?
Well, I've seen both. I haven't watched episode 4 of Rings of Power. I've only watched the first 3. I've been enjoying them both. I think I would probably say I like House of the Dragon more, though. Rings of Power, I thought the first episode was a bit boring. The second and third episodes I liked more, but I still would say I prefer House of the Dragon, although I think franchise-wise I'd probably prefer Lord of the Rings over Game of Thrones. When I was like a little kid, in school, Lord of the Rings was like my religion. I was obsessed with those films.
Yeah.
I watched them so many times I couldn't watch them for years because I would just watch it and I would just say the lines before the characters did. So I was like, I have to take it. So, but in terms of the current shows, I would say I prefer House of the Dragon. I think the story's a bit more interesting, but I like both of them. I'm enjoying both.
What do you think of the time jumps, Phil, in House of the Dragon?
It's a bit like But between the episodes, it is it is sort of like the episode ends and then the next episode it's like a few years later and there's not really a lot of like
They don't explain
me
it
a
too
while-
much.
Yeah, it doesn't explain it to us. It's just like wasn't until a bit like someone mentioned it. I was like, oh wait, is this a few years later?
Yeah.
Like
What's
yeah.
Is Matt Smith as good as what he was in Morbius?
Well, he was the only good thing in Morbius.
Oh, no.
So yeah, I mean,
I like that movie.
I kind of I wouldn't say it was terrible. I thought it was all right, but it wasn't that great. Yeah.
I liked him in Last Night and So. He was good in that, but
That was
was
great.
good,
Yeah,
was
he
good
looks
in that,
great.
yeah.
I don't rate him as an actor. He's just a bit like
You
I
know what,
just see him
he's
as
really
Doctor
cool.
Who.
he's got
Yeah.
He
no
was good as
dimension.
Doctor. He was good as Doctor.
Yeah, he's all right. Doctor.
Yeah, I liked him as Doctor Who.
He's just got no dimension to his features, or when you see him as like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like, you know what I mean? He can't like play a certain part.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about him. Just a bit off.
It feels like he's got a bit more. I don't like Phil say this. I think I feel like he's got a bit more range in House of the Dragon. He feels like he's playing a very different role to what he's played before.
Yeah,
He's good in the
very
Crown
good.
as well.
Yeah.
So Phil, what you say? Are you going with House of the Dragon, Phil? Or
Yeah,
what?
between the two, I'd say I like that more. Yeah.
Yeah. Pete, what about yourself? Game of Thrones, House of Dragon versus Rings of Power. What have you got? What do you think?
Right, I haven't seen Game of Thrones yet. I've got a big series 1 to 7 Blu-ray box set that's still sealed. I need to see it.
Oh, man,
but
you're in for a treat.
yeah, and House of Dragons really does look good. I did watch the first episode of Rings of Power. I thought it was all right, a bit slow, but it was great to see Lenny Henry in there, and it was nice to see him for a change not promoting Premier Inn. But I'll probably say House of Dragons because it just looks more interesting to me. But I'm definitely going to give Rings of Power a go once the whole series is out.
Yeah.
I think the thing with the Game of Thrones is it changes, whereas Lord of the Rings, the scenery is the same. It's the same, like in this, it's the same places. It's Middle Earth, just got the orcs and stuff. It's just, if you say Lord of the Rings, you've seen pretty much just,
it's a beautiful looking series, though.
Yeah. Production design is fun. It looks like a movie. Like it does. Like a lot of people say TV shows look like movies. And I'm like, no, they do. I mean, they look a bit more, but like generally they do look a bit cheap. But this does look just like a movie.
It should be one long movie, like about 60 to 74 minutes an episode. It's like really good. And compared to when you watch She-Hulk, which is about 15 minutes or so.
It's like but like Rings of Power, like I remember reading about how much it cost, and I thought, oh, that's a bit much for TV. But you see every penny on the screen; it does look like they spent hundreds of millions on it. Yeah,
consider it's a stream as well. Like I'm watching it on the OLED, and it's just like it's amazing. It like puts some It might be a bit controversial, but it puts some 4K discs to shame. The detail in it and the HDR in it, it's just amazing. Like the sound is incredible as well. It's like it's just brilliant.
It'd be interesting to see if I mean, I hope they do give it. I do feel like it's like I've watched a few episodes so far, and I think it is a slow start for me. But I think it'd be nice to see if they do carry on with doing it. If you can watch Rings of Power and then watch the movies afterwards, and they all make sense together. They don't like kind of like step on each other's toes.
Yeah.
I hope that's the way they do it. Like, it'd be nice to see. Joe, what about yourself? Rings of Power versus Game of Thrones, House of Dragon. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna probably go with House of Dragon.
House of Dragon.
Mainly because Rings of Power does look good, but you need more than that. I don't know what it is, but because I go into little rabbit holes on YouTube where I look up a lot of Lord of the Rings lore. I like where did the Balrogs come from, and like the Silver Age and the Bronze Age and all that kind of thing. And with the Rings of Power, they had so much to play with.
Yeah,
and that would have been amazing to see, but they kind of just like skipped it or didn't go over it. And if I think as good as it does look, I prefer more when it comes to my fantasy now. I prefer more gritty in it, like it's like The Witcher.
Yeah,
not perfect, but I like the feel of you know what I mean, like just that feeling. And Lord of the Rings, like Game of Thrones has that, like that dirty. You can feel yourself in there. Whereas Lord of the Rings is a bit too glossy for me, if that makes sense. And
a bit too clean, isn't it?
like the prequels of Star Wars. You know, like everything was too shiny and pristine, whereas in the originals, everything was rusty and things were falling off the wings, and you know what I mean. So for me, like I love Game of Thrones. Like well, you know what I mean, like to a point, it wasn't perfect, but like I was with it from the Sky Atlantic days when it first came out. Episode 1, I was like, what is this? But yeah, like I loved that. But I would say for me, if Lord of the Rings isn't terrible, but it's just like it doesn't pull me in. Like a show like this should be like easy money for me. Like just pulls me in, but there's something with it that just doesn't grab me.
Lord of the Rings, you do have the grittiness bit with the orcs and stuff, but like in the original trilogy, it does get a bit more grittier with the wars and the armies and stuff. Yeah, but like Joe was saying, like the sort of like I've lost that. There is a bit in Rings of Power where there's some gritty scenes, but it's just I know what you mean. It's just too like elves, and you know they live in all this pristine,
sparkly, like really pristine place.
Yeah, and it's just I know what you're saying. The two completely different.
I just think a lot of people like most people would like their fantasy. It's got to be very deranged. You know, like a lot of people like watch Game of Thrones because they hear it's full of violence and sex and this and that's. Like, oh, like we like violence, we like sex. I'll watch this, and they watch it and they love it. Whereas like Rings of Power, it can come across to mainstreamers or people like that would never watch it as geeky, which is dumb.
It is actually quite violent. Rings of Power. There was like a fight scene with a pretty brutal arm break, and I was like, "What?"
And Scarecrow was burnt alive. Humanity.
No, but like he's like this, like one of the guys like fighting these guys. Like he breaks one of their arms. I was thinking, geez, that's quite hardcore for like a Tolkien adaptation.
Yeah.
I prefer Sandman over Lord of the Rings. If I'm honest with you, the Sandman on Netflix.
That's pretty
kind of cool.
Oh, I've heard good things about that.
It's a good show. Well, gents, we are going to wrap it up here. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone in the Movie Cheer Town community and the live chat, or you're watching this on the replay. Big thank you to you all for joining tonight and getting involved. And let us know your thoughts on all tonight's discussions. Let us know what your thoughts on tonight's live streams topics. It'd be great to hear. I also want to say a big thank you to the 4 special guest co-hosts who joined me tonight, the 4 top guys. First of all, I got Paul, 4K Chef. Paul, where can people find you online?
Twitter. My name is pretty much I use on everything, so just search the _4K Chef and I'll pop up. Yeah.
Fantastic. We'll do them. Let's get them final plugs in. I want everyone subscribing, Instagramming, doing all that. Phil, where can people find you, Phil?
My YouTube channel is it's the same as my name. It's Philip Coghill. That's Philip with 1 L. And on Instagram, you can find me as Crinoid Man. That's like Crinoid -man.
Fantastic. Joe, GeekyHiJynx, where can people find you again? Where's the best place?
Wrong finger again. I thought I got it right this time. So GeekyHiJynx, where to find me for anything horror gaming, shutter reviews, horror TV shows, and horror movies. So if you want a bit of madness blended in, come check me out.
Superb. And Pete, PlaytendoGuy, where's the best spot for people to find you online?
Yeah, you find me on PlaytendoGuy. Oh, I'm actually pointing it to the right direction. That's the first for me. PlaytendoGuy on YouTube and Instagram. Yeah.
Fantastic. Again, thank you very much, gents. It's been an absolute pleasure to have the 4 of you on tonight. I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully, we'll do this again. We'll have some more game shows. We'll iron out the wrinkles of the game shows, and we'll have another tournament sometime soon. But it's been an absolute great night. Thank you very much for everyone joining us for Movie Cheer Fest Night 1. Be back tomorrow night with Night 2, and it'll be an episode of the Movie Cheer podcast. We've got John, Mondo Chelvet Movies. We've got Ryan from Let's Get Kicking Movies, and we've got Sean, Media Collector Madness, joining for the podcast tomorrow night. So come and join. It'll be another great night for Night 2 Movie Cheer Fest. But that is it for tonight. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer. And as always, we will see you. We're going to do the point to the screen. We will see you next time.